What should I be talking about? Hey guy, no. Hey gang, it's Justin from Delish, and today we're gonna be recreating Panda Express's honey walnut shrimp. This is an iconic seafood dish, and I used to go to Panda Express all the time as a kid in my local mall. Shout out to Bridgewater Commons. And today we're going to recreate this dish. It's really simple, really delicious. Let's get into it. But first, before we even get into our recipe, let's try the original. Shrimp and walnuts have been eaten in Cantonese food in China for a long time, but this specific dish of these like fried shrimp with candied walnuts is not really something you'd see in China. And if you ask someone from mainland China, they'd probably be a little bit confused about what you're talking about. But obviously, like General Tso's chicken, Chinese American food is its whole own thing. And these shrimp have become unbelievably popular, and that's in no small part thanks to Panda Express and their incredible recipe. I just need to dig into it. Despite it being called honey walnut shrimp, it's not unbelievably sweet. It's a little bit more savory, a little bit salty, a little bit like almost like fatty, coat your tongue in a really, really amazing way. And it's balanced out by the sweetness of the walnuts and a little bit of a honey flavor. It's honestly really, really subtle. And the main thing here for me is the like crispiness of the shrimp and the crunchiness of the nuts. It's just like, it's a huge texture dish for me, but also who's gonna complain about fried shrimp in a sweet sauce? It's delicious. I'm not gonna eat any more of these because we need to make our own. I'm ready to copycat it. Let's go. Got a twitch in my eye.
Ready?
Wait, is it still happening? No. Okay, hi. Candying these walnuts couldn't be easier. And part of why it's so easy is because each ingredient, it's just 1 cup. 1 cup walnuts, 1 cup sugar, 1 cup water. And we're gonna start with pouring in our water and our sugar. We're just gonna bring this up to a gentle, not super rolling boil. You wanna see the sugar fully dissolve, and then we're gonna go in with our walnuts. So this simple syrup is gonna help to coat the walnuts in like this sweet encasing, but also the hot temperature from the water is gonna help to make the walnuts just a little bit crispier than they would be if they were raw. Also, I find sometimes walnuts can have like a little bit of like a bittery taste to them when they're in their raw state, and this will totally do away with that. Once these have been going for 2 minutes, we're gonna take them out, put them on a baking sheet, and get going with the rest of our recipe. So you can see that these nuts have now gotten like this glossy, shimmery coating of sugar that's just gonna add another level of sweetness over the creamy honey sauce that's on the shrimp. And it really makes a huge difference. I think it's like, if you just put raw walnuts in this dish, it's not gonna be nearly as good or nearly as interesting. So we're gonna set these aside and we're gonna get going on the shrimp. For the shrimp, we're gonna have a pound of peeled and deveined shrimp. Really, really gorgeous. You don't want these too big. As you saw, they were kind of like yay large-ish. You don't want these like big, like fist-sized jumbo prawns. Just like 20-ish to a pound is perfect. And before we dredge them, we're gonna season them pretty thoroughly with salt and pepper. There's no other seasoning in the actual batter, so this is where we're gonna get all of our flavoring on. So salt and pepper onto the shrimp, decent amount. We're gonna deep fry these shrimp, and it's gonna be a very, very simple batter. All it is 2 eggs and a cup of cornstarch. So cornstarch adds a ton of crispiness and airiness, which is exactly the sort of thing that we're trying to recreate from the shrimp that we got from Panda Express. The frying process is really straightforward. First, we're gonna go in with our shrimp into our egg, just 2 eggs, beaten nice and thoroughly, and then directly into our cornstarch. You wanna get it pretty covered because, as you saw with the shrimp in the actual recipe, they're pretty battered. So you want full coverage all over the shrimp, and then you're gonna go directly into this oil. This is vegetable oil at 350. You could use peanut oil or canola oil. Vegetable oil is great too, but you're gonna go right in with the shrimp. Look at how incredible these look. It only took like 3-4 minutes, and they are crispity, crunchy. You see like all these crags and nooks and crannies. That's where all of the sauce that we're about to make is gonna seep into, totally making it taste all that honey walnut saucy goodness. Let's make that sauce. As we talked about before, despite it being called honey walnut shrimp, this sauce isn't like crazy sweet or honey forward. There's definitely sweetness in it, also coming from the nuts, but I'd say the overwhelming thing in this sauce is mayo. Sounds weird. Typically you don't use mayo in like a warm sauce context, but I promise you in this case, it works. Something about that like creamy, fatty, like rich taste is necessary from the mayo, and I'm pretty sure it's exactly what they use in Panda Express. So we're gonna go in with a 1/4 cup of mayo, 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, and 2 tablespoons of honey. Not too much, not too little. The cream helps give it a little bit of thinness so we can toss it with our shrimp. And then we're gonna serve it, covering it with walnuts and some green onions on some white rice. Look at this, y'all. It basically looks like the picture on the menu. You have these golden crispy shrimp and that savory honey sauce, and then those perfect candied walnuts. And we just added a bit of a garnish of green onion. They don't do this at Panda Express, but I like having a little bit of green onion just to finish on top for a punch of flavor. Let's try our recreation. You wanna get that perfect bite, get a nut and a piece of shrimp and a little bit of green onion. Here we go. It tastes just like the original. And if you like the Panda Express original, you really have to try making this at home. All right, guys, see you later. Let us know if you tried this copycat at home.